everyone. I'm Danielle with Trinity Readings. We are going to do the Aquarius Weekly Tarotscope. Keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. All right. Let's see what you guys got going on for the end of the year. We're just going to start off by pulling some message cards for you. See what your guides are wanting you to know right now. What's the strongest message that's wanting to come through for you? Okay, a couple things here. I feel like for some of you, there's a very strong message to really focus on setting boundaries, not letting yourself feel pressured into anything by another person. But it's showing up as like there's some sort of shift that or change that you're resisting, but you might not even realize that you're resisting this change, and it feels like a very necessary shift, or a very necessary ending, like something that you need to kind of let go of, or something that you need to walk away from. But it's like you might not even be realizing that this is something that you need to let go of or change, because it's like there's something that you like is taking your power. If you're in a relationship with another person, especially if it's been like a very long-term connection, I was like, I keep feeling the need to catch my breath. It's like I feel like maybe the person that you're connected to is just putting too much pressure, or their energy is just overbearing, or the relationship between you and this person is like a very intense energy, and so it's like it's more of a power struggle than an actual genuine connection, or the power struggle has kind of overrode is that a word? Overridden, it overrides everything else. If you have very strong Scorpio placements, Aries placements, Capricorn placements, or you're dealing with somebody with those placements, maybe even Taurus also, it's like you got to be mindful that you don't get involved in power struggles, or people kind of trying to take your power in some way. It's like there's definitely a need to expand, to move forward, to like aim for something more. But there's also like a lot of energy like being directed at you that you're, without realizing, taking, and it's like draining your energy. Let's see what else comes up for this. It would be a good idea if you could, like, every morning, every night, take a few minutes and like just focus like 5 minutes of deep breathing and keep saying to yourself, I call my power back to me. I ask for any negative lower vibration energy that has been directed at me to be returned to sender. Yeah, you've got butterfly here, so you're going through a pretty massive shift, a pretty massive change. And the butterfly represents changes specifically within areas connected to your heart space, right? So it's relationships, it's anything that you have emotional connection to, abundance, opening yourself up to more. Yeah, but you have the gazelle as your overall energy. It's like, I feel like you're really putting in a lot of work towards this change, but it's a very new energy, like very new beginning. Like, I feel like you might not feel very prepared for the change that you're stepping into. You have the gazelle as your overall energy. So it's like in this energy of change, right? And the earthworm also. It's like very sensitive energy, right? It's very delicate energy. You've gone through something really difficult. If you think about when a butterfly is in the cocoon, it's just kind of this like mush, right? You can't see what's going on. The earthworm is just like this very delicate energy. And so in this space of this change that you are working towards or moving towards, your senses are heightened, right? You could also be like in this, like already have like very heightened intuition, and you could be noticing that your intuition is getting stronger, but that also means that you're more sensitive to the energy around you. And so when you're in this space, I feel like you're already kind of looking towards this change, right? Looking towards starting something new or moving towards something better. And I do feel like with the bee, that's something that you're working towards, although you might not really be seeing a lot of progress with that right now because it's like a very new energy. And so within this very sensitive space, you really have to be mindful, like more protective of your energy than normal. Because you're picking up on all of the energy around you. You're picking up on other people's fears, other people's insecurities, other people's emotions. And then you're also dealing with your own energy and your own emotions as well. And then underneath that, you have the panther in reverse. And so the the panther represents like an intense purging and the need to like really enforce boundaries. But with being reversed, it's like you might feel that you don't want to be too aggressive, or you don't have the energy to be aggressive with your boundaries. This could also indicate that somebody might be For some of you, honestly, I feel like it might be that you've ended a relationship, or you've walked away from a relationship, or you're trying to walk away from a relationship. You're moving towards something new. You maybe have just disconnected yourself from certain people, but you're trying to move towards something new. And it's like somebody maybe toxic that you've left behind or tried to leave behind. It's almost like they might be coming at you in like a completely different energy. Like it's somebody that is like hiding their jealousy or hiding their toxicity. It's somebody that you've seen a lot of toxicity in the past, and all of a sudden they might be coming to you in a very like humble way. But just be mindful, the change that you have initiated, it's kind of like there's no going back, right? If you've ended a relationship, especially if it's a relationship that you have walked away from, I feel like there's no going back. And you might be tempted to go back to this because of the vulnerable state that you are in. And the way that this person is coming towards you, it's like they're getting you at a vulnerable space. And they might even be coming to you appearing to be like weakened and powerless, but it's like if you try to go back, you're going to get burned, because the phoenix represents burning karma. It's like kind of like burning bridges. Like once it's burnt, you can't go back. So just be mindful of that. Like you're in this energy of moving forward, of expansion, of manifesting a new beginning. It's something that you've been working towards. I feel the need to kind of, the B is like about working together with other people. But I feel like it's important that you're not being submissive to other people, if that makes sense. You're not being too, too concerned about making everybody else happy before yourself. Because again, you're in this very sensitive energy, and you just need to be mindful of somebody taking advantage of that, or trying to come back into your life. Let's see what else comes up. Pay attention to how your energy changes around certain people. If you have, a ton of energy and you have a 5-minute conversation with somebody, and by the time you're done with the conversation, you feel exhausted, or you feel frustrated, or you feel tense, then that's a sign that that person is draining your energy. And it might not be intentional on that person's part, but it's like, it's still important to kind of like protect your boundaries. And somebody was mentioning this to me the other day, that I always tell them to, be mindful of their boundaries and setting boundaries. And they said that they didn't really know what that meant. It's like, take a moment, right? And say, okay, what is it that I want right now? What do I need? What is important to me, right? And then be mindful of any time throughout the day. How often do you do things that you don't really want to do? How often are you saying yes to things when you really want to say no? How often are, like people pushing their opinions on you, or, even if you have like people, when they talk to you, if they have no boundaries, if they're always wanting to know what's going on in your life, or telling you like too many details about their own life, like that is kind of an encroachment of boundaries. So boundaries isn't just like blocking people out. You don't have to block people out, but anytime you don't feel comfortable or you don't, it's not even about being comfortable. But it's like if you're tired and you don't want to talk to somebody, you should be able to say, I don't feel like talking, right? You shouldn't feel guilty about doing anything. Yeah, you're showing up as the Four of Pentacles. And so you're feeling very protective of your energy, but you also may be feeling like you have to like hold on to like whatever you do have. Give me one more. Four of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. So it's like you're in the middle of this really big change, right? With the Eight of Wands, it's like a really intense change. It's a fast moving change. You might be resisting a change. You might be feeling very apprehensive, but it's like this change has already been set in motion. This energy has already been set in motion. For some of you, there might be something that you're needing to communicate in order to get this change moving, and you're kind of hesitating having this conversation, but it's like you're in the middle of this kind of heightened energy, and it's kind of making you nervous, or you're questioning maybe a change that you've already put into place. What's crossing you is Four of Cups. You're just kind of feeling very drained and uncertain about yourself. And so you might not be seeing the truth very clearly. Or again, for some of you, there is something that needs to be communicated that you're not communicating because you feel like it's not going to make any difference. But I feel like it's definitely important to communicate your truth. For some of you, I kind of feel like it's that you have walked away from a relationship. You know, like after you walk away from a relationship and you have that kind of period, after about a week, I think it's like all of a sudden we get out of that routine, right, of being with that person, and you kind of, you start to second guess yourself. Like if you notice people have a tendency after they leave somebody to kind of like sometimes have that breaking moment of going back, right? And I think it's almost like it's a fear of missing out. Like it's a fear of like, what if I made the wrong decision? What if this person really is going to change? What if they really are going to try this time? Like I wouldn't even go there, right? Seven of Cups, you're emotionally burnt out right now. You're in the middle of so much change that you're not seeing the options in front of you clearly. So just be very mindful of that. Again, I feel like you're in the middle of a change, but you keep looking back. You keep questioning whether or not you should be making this shift or not. You have a huge fear of letting people down, and I feel like this is the intent of everything that's going on is getting you to push back that fear of saying something that might piss somebody else off. That's weird because a card flew off and I swore it was the Five of Swords, but the Five of Swords is right here. It's like you're needing to push past your fears of saying or doing things that go against what other people want of you. The challenge is the Tower. Like you're scared of what's going to blow up as a result of this. There's a fear of not having control. There's a fear of like losing everything. But the truth is, this change has already been initiated, if that makes sense. It's like you've already made this decision, or it's something that you've asked for without even realizing it. Like you have been praying, I just want to be happy. I just want to be in a happy relationship. I just want to be in a happy relationship. I just want to be loved. Whatever that is, right? You have been asking for this for so long, and wherever you've been sitting in, it's like that's not where it is. And I feel like that's kind of what your guides are saying. Like where you're at is not where you're going to get what you want. And so this change has already been initiated. It's already happening. And so whatever you're holding back saying, I feel like it's important to say, regardless of what you think the blow up is going to be, because the external influence is death. This is done. The change has already been initiated. The outcome is the Eight of Swords. Like there's a lot of fear. Like you're feeling that it's like if you don't say anything, you're going to feel trapped. Be careful of somebody talking circles around you. Have you ever had like a conversation with somebody and like you're trying to have a conversation about coffee, right? And they just keep going around in circles. Or like you're saying to a person, I just want coffee. And they're like, if you don't drink fucking milk, you know what I'm saying? Like they start talking about everything else. Or you confront somebody about like, I really see a problem in this. We don't communicate enough. What can we do to have better communication? And the person starts talking about something that you did 10 years ago, or talking about all their problems. And like, by the time you're done with the conversation, you end up defending yourself. You end up fighting to get your point across, but you end up talking about like on a completely different subject. Like you've gone around in a circle. Don't let this person talk circles around you. Or it's like, don't get yourself, it's almost like not, yeah. Eight of Cups is about the need to move away. And it's like, if you get in your head and you get in that space and you don't communicate, or you're not sure what to do, it's like something's going to come in that's going to piss you off so bad that you're going to be forced. But it's like it's going to be more difficult, if that makes sense. Five of Pentacles, like wherever you're at is not going to support you. Five of Cups, yeah. I don't know who this reading is for, but it's something that I feel like you've already gone through the change. Like you've already changed your mind. You've already decided or made some sort of significant effort towards this new, like towards something new. And it's like, there's no going back from it now. And wherever you're at right now, it's like sorry. Your guidance is Chariot. Move. Chariot, Two of Cups. Go towards what makes you happy. Go towards what is going to give you balance. If you're trying to decide between two people, you already know where your heart is, but there's like a fear of letting somebody down. or a fear of how this other person is going to react, or a fear that things are going to blow up because of this other person. For some of you, this might be somebody that you're dealing with, is struggling with this change because of somebody else that they're dealing with, if that makes sense. Give me one more. King of Pentacles. Go to where you are going to be valued. You already know. What's hidden is Seven of Pentacles. Page of Cups. It's like you're feeling like this new, like stepping into something new. It's going to be like difficult maybe, but it's like you've already put in so much effort towards this change, and you might not even realize it, but it's like, okay, sorry. It just flipped out of the thing. Okay. What I was saying is, Seven of Pentacles, Page of Cups, you've already put in enough effort towards the new beginning, towards the change, that it's not going to be like you are going to have to completely start over. Like you've already put in enough effort without realizing it. The Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands, Magician, that's like go to where your heart is telling you. Go to follow your heart, even if it seems like a ridiculous dream, right? The Queen of Wands and the Magician is like, what your desires are already manifesting. Your desires are already manifesting. I feel like also you're a very powerful manifester without even realizing it. And again, it's like you've already been focusing on manifesting this, and maybe without even realizing it, right? It's like it's already been set in motion. And the more you get excited about the desire for what you feel passionate about, for what your heart wants, the easier it is for things to come together. Three of Cups, Fool. It's like, go for it. Let me just see any final messages. This might even be that there's somebody that you're wanting a relationship with, somebody that you're, wanting to express feelings to, and it's kind of saying go for it. And the more you hold back, the more you might, it might be more difficult. It's like you've already got yourself in a good place. The Fish is success. Financial success. This is deep. This is like your deepest desires, your deepest wishes, your deepest dreams. This goes deep. And when you want something that deeply, it's promised to you. The Snake card, it looks like a risk. It feels like a risk to you. I do feel like it's important to put up boundaries. I do feel like it's important to understand that when you start moving towards the things that you want, other people might appear to be very jealous, or it might seem like people are going after you. It's like those people don't want you to be happy. Give me a couple more. Protect your desires. Divine masculine. It's kind of like what you're going to be shown this week is that hesitating is going to make things more difficult, to the point that you're burnt enough that you're going to do it regardless. This is about putting boundaries, protecting this new beginning that you've been manifesting. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful month. Bye-bye.